Could you coming over here? There's like a couple of rooms in the wall that things that we found. Security got tighter and tighter. And they can use these as nunchucks. You don't see much of those, but those are like handmade weapons that they've been here over the years. They'll have they get very creative with the stuff that they can put together as far as weapons, handmade weapons.
Tent City was built by Sheriff Arpaio in 1993. Even today, he still makes it a point to the public by showing a sign explaining there's always room in here.
Zoom in on it, you can see it. It's basically a reminder for the inmates that we always have room for you, and we're not going to let you out.
Tent City is comprised of over 90 tents and has the ability to hold over 2,000 medium security inmates. It is made up of alphabetical yards, with N yard being the main yard. Inmates are allowed weekly visitors during their stay. Visitors must pass through these rooms prior to visiting the inmate. They are searched by a deputy and given specific instructions for their visit. Inmates from within the county are allowed 3 30-minute visits. Inmates from outside the county are allowed 6 30-minute visits. All conversations are monitored, and the gang interdiction unit listens for keywords and phrases in the attempt to slow gang interaction down. Visitations are done via video conference methods. Visitors must sit on metal seats and peer through these screens to visit with the inmate. This system allows for little to no contraband to be passed through during visitations, thus making Tent City a much safer environment. An inmate may speak with their attorney in a secure room like this one. Psychological evaluations are also done in this room.
As you can see, the inmates, they don't hang out at tents all day. So it's not like they're outside in the heat all day or in the cold all day. This is the day room. This is where they tend to hang out quite a bit. Summertime is a very popular place. It is air conditioned and heated for the climate. This is also where they eat, where they have their restrooms here, their showers. They have a TV where they can watch here. Here they play cards, and it's pretty much a get out of the heat or get out of the cold place. Tents runs 24/7. There's no lights out. You always have work crews that are out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So there's always a crew out to work somewhere. So we never shut off the lights and tell them to go to sleep, because there never is. This room in conjunction is open 24/7. All kinds of religious services are offered to them. I believe right now we do not have a Muslim volunteer. All the religious personnel that come in and give the religious services are all volunteers. They also offer self-help classes, Alcoholics Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous. Also, anger management is a big one.
Okay.
And there's a lot of anger management issues in this place. For those that have enough time here, they might be able to get their GED. Medical care, emergency medical care, pretty much set up like a triage system. The more serious medical situations normally get set up for triage for more priorities. We always have officers running around the yards. They're always out there in the yard. There's always a presence, but there's also a couple of other places that I'll show you where they can tend to be. They're all assigned lockers. I'm going to open up one of them. They normally, if they buy a lot of stuff, they normally put locks on them.
Inmates may also buy snacks during their stay at Tent City in the commissary. The days of stale bologna sandwiches have come and gone.
Eat that at any time, as long as the day room is open. They're not allowed to take it out into the yard.
The tents run 24/7. All inmates serve either a year or less, and Sheriff Joe makes it a point to not let anyone out earlier than their original sentence time. He states if an inmate is sentenced to 9 months, he or she is going to serve 9 months here at Tent City. Time off for good behavior is considered taboo. Inmates are also allowed to make phone calls when they have a break. All phones are monitored, and gang lingo will be flagged at all times. Damage to the phone results in disciplinary action and one less phone.
These phones got replaced. They got the more heavy-duty ones before they had the actual payphone-looking ones. All the collect calls are out. They're all collect calls, so the inmates don't have to have any money, but they have to be able to have the collect call capability on the other side. We're gonna come out here. Most of these tents are empty because the crew is currently out to work. You always have crews out to work, so you're gonna see the tents are gonna look somewhat empty, somewhat bare. But that's because you always have people going out. Like this yard looks relatively full, but that's because that's the afternoon kitchen crew. So the morning kitchen crew will be here in probably about a little bit over an hour. They get checked in and they go out to work. At one time, there were actually what we call swamp coolers out here, but the inmates kept on tampering with the electrical systems, trying to spark stuff, and even after the 1996 riots that we had out here when they tried to burn Tent City down, hence the reason why they're not allowed to smoke, and some of the other things. They don't get any coffee, saves $200,000 a year for the taxpayers. So basically, the swamp coolers and heaters that were in here, that were on the end here, basically got replaced with a fan. Not much you can do with tampering with a fan up there. So they get a fan in the summertime, and they have a couple of lights. That's basically all the electrical they get out here. There's no place for them to plug anything. They don't get any kind of radios or anything out here. The only electronics they get to see is the TV that we have inside. They actually get a mattress. When they tear up their mattresses, we actually have a crew assigned that actually repairs the mattresses. So it's pretty much as much as possible a self-supported operation. The inmates are assigned to the kitchen. They prepare their meals, not only for us, but also for all the other 5 jails that we have. The one crew from here prepares all the meals for the morning, in the morning. They get all the stuff prepared for 8,800 inmates. Then the afternoon crew prepares the other meal for the evening meal. Because it's winter time, they actually get more than one blanket. They can have up to 5 blankets. These numbers the number of blankets is going to start dwindling down. Now it's starting to get warmer. When it's really cold, they can have up to 5 on a case-by-case basis. If they happen to need more, they can get more, as long as they use them for their intended purpose. They do not get pillows out here. Pillows are a luxury, so they do not get pillows. Jail is not supposed to be a place where they get comfortable. Yeah, this has happened over the years as, inmates trying to leave their mark. We try to keep it as clean as possible, try to keep the graffiti up, but when they carve it into the steel, there's not much you can do about that. So you might see some inmates here, you can see some bunks that are empty. That's because, again, it's all running 24/7. You'll have one group out, you'll have one group in. It all depends on the time of the day and the shift.
Concertina wire and strategically placed watchtowers surround the perimeter of Tent City to keep everyone safe and secure.
Basically, the eye in the sky for all these yards. We also have one place on the southwest side, one by yard 1 by the beginning, so you can see the entire yard. And we also have one on the far north side to keep an eye on the other yard over here.
To conserve manpower and watch every angle, there are over 60 security cameras around Tent City.
As you can see how open it is not feasible for security purposes to have maximum security inmates. Out of tents, it's a different environment than being inside a hard facility. They're awaiting trial, and you can have, I've worked a facility where you had somebody that was jaywalking and got arrested because he decided to have an attitude. And in the very same place, I had a guy that was going in for manslaughter. Here, I think the biggest charge that we've seen so far is aggravated assault. They might be felonies, but they're leveled to the point where they get a year or less. So, doesn't mean that we get complacent, no, because they're still convicted criminals. Security is still paramount, so the entire perimeter of the jail, the entire fence line on the outside has got an electrical fence. There's a disturbance in the electrical system in the fence. The alarm does sound inside. The fence system is set up by sectors, so you will know what sector, what zone is being disturbed.
Inmates enter and exit through this checkpoint to either leave for a working party or they're coming back from one. There is always at least one deputy here, and this section is secured by 2 locked gates. One gate will be unlocked at a time to let the inmates into the staging area. Each inmate is searched every time.
Inmates come in, they're strip searched, making sure we keep contraband again out of the facilities. And then, as a reward for them, showing they got no contraband, they can get fresh set of clothes.
Sheriff Joe is famous for his pink uniforms.
There's a story behind that, and multiple stories about that. The main idea was it used to be white boxers and white socks. When the inmates were leaving, they were taken off. They were leaving with them. It was costing a couple of $1,000s to replenish socks and underwear every month. So Sheriff Arpaio decided to come up with a color. I don't know how he came up with pink, besides the fact that it is one of the cheapest color to replicate. He started with the socks and the underwear, and then it got a life of its own, and now all of a sudden everything became pink. So it kind of became Sheriff Arpaio's trademark. He went away from the single color jumpers and went back to the traditional stripes. Again, it's kind of one of those things that is his trademark along the years. So you can get your boxers and anything as small as your XL. And believe it or not, there will be someone that will use some very, very large items. We actually have inmates that will use a 10X. So when the crews go out, they come out through there. When they come back in, they come in to check. And the East Gate officer, which is the one sitting at the desk, he marks them out, he marks them back in. We have 9 head counts a day, and we have to have accountability of the inmates at all times. Whenever inmates are out, you have to know exactly where they are and what time they left. When they come back, you have to definitely mark them back, because as you can see, it's a pretty open yard. But that is our operation out here. This is a unique concept. It is the only one of its kind in the country. I think it is a good deterrent. It actually keeps if it keeps our levels down compared to prison, I think it's a good, you can say a good deterrent to keep them away. I think it's a great idea. It is very cost effective. The upkeep of the actual tense jail, it's a lot less than if you had a multi-million-dollar facility. Sheriff Arpaio finally did get his jail back in 2004.
Entering and leaving Tent City on the same day as a free person gives one a great perspective on Sheriff Joe's logic. Jail is not supposed to be fun or relaxing, and Tent City allows for inmates to be uncomfortable yet productive. No wonder Tent City has one of the lowest number of returning inmates in the U.S.